So today my session topic is Firebase. I have chose this topic because from my perspective, I thought most of us know the Firebase, but still not using it. So today, by this session, I'll try to cover the basic of Firebase, and I'll try to give an overall idea about its feature. Okay, so for me, maybe it's not possible to discuss each point elaborately or the advanced topic due to the time limit, but I'll try to cover most of the things. So, okay, let's start. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you what is Firebase. So, Firebase is a platform developed by Google for creating mobile and web application. So that means it's a cross platform. And another thing is Firebase is a backend service. So it provides developer with a variety of tools and services to help the developers to develop quality apps, grow their user base and earn profit. And the main thing is it's built on Google infrastructure. So it was originally independent company and founded in 2011. And in 2014, Google acquired the platform. So I have given some more information here. Like Firebase founded in 2011. It's headquartered in San Francisco, California, United States. Industrial sectors are computing and development tools. Leading company Google and founders are James Champlin and Andrew Lee. So now I'm going to next slide. So here we can know what Firebase can do. So from the right side picture, we can understand that what can Firebase do from the title. Here the title is the real-time backend for your app. That means for mobile and web for both, Firebase works as a backend service. And from the bottom also we can see it's synchronized across web and mobile devices. So on the left side, I kept one statement, and that this is one statement, and this statement given by Firebase team itself. So they said that Firebase can power your app's backend, including data storage, user authentication, static hosting, and more. Focus on creating extraordinary user experience. We'll take care of the rest. Build cross-platform native mobile and web apps with our Android, iOS, and JavaScript SDK. So you can also connect Firebase to your existing backend using our server-side libraries or REST API. So from this statement, we can again understand that it provides us with a number of services and SDKs that are easy to integrate. Also, we can connect it to our existing backend also. Okay, so here I kept one statistic. So from this statistic, we can see some of the top companies repeatedly using Firebase to their tech stack, and their revenue are also quite good. Like Alibaba, Accenture, Lyft, New York Times, Instacart, Benmont, Trivago, Economist, NPR, and Hubspot. Those are the top companies. They are using the Firebase, and also their developers also have started using Firebase, and see their revenue is also quite good, and employees are also a huge employee. So now I'm going to discuss about the key features. So um, so some key features of the Firebase are real-time database, authentication, cloud messaging, storage, hosting, remote config, test lab, crash reporting. Okay, so uh, okay, so today I'll cover the main basic features which actually required to start the development. Okay, so before starting the key features description, I'll go to the Firebase console. So Okay, so for visiting Firebase console, developer needs a developer account. Okay, so I already have an account. So if you go to the Firebase dashboard, then you will find one console option. And if you visit this console, then you can see their Firebase dashboard. Okay, so for visiting this, we need one developer account. Okay, so earlier I have logged in. So if anyone don't have any account and want to use it, then just create an Google, developer account using your Google account. So from here, you can see your recent project list. I mean, existing project list. Also, you can add new project. So if you want to create new project on Firebase console, you just have to follow some steps. Like you have to give your project name. I'm giving one project name like dummy project. Okay. Then continue. Then there is one option that is about enable Google Analytics for your project. If you want to enable it, then you can enable it. Otherwise, you can disable it. And then click on continue. Then you have select account. Actually, I have used a couple of accounts, so that's why they gave me this option. Maybe if you use only one account, then you can directly go to the next step. So create project. So it will take some time to create the project. In the meantime, I'm visiting one of my existing project. Okay, so I'm visiting one of my existing project. So see, this is the Firebase project overview. And the left side, you can see Firebase option like authentication, Firebase database, storage, hosting function, machine learning, and some other feature also there. And this is the project overview. Okay. So my project also created. Okay. So that project I only created for showing you how to create a project on Firebase. That's it, nothing else. So by this way, you can create a project on Firebase. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss about each feature one by one. So first feature is from the console, we can see first feature is authentication. Okay. So for any product development is first we have to work on the authentication part. And authentication has been always one important part since we used to develop using other technology also. But in I think in upcoming technologies that have not just simplified the implementation of the authentication, but it really made it quick. So same Firebase authentication also. Firebase brings a highly secure authentication system that improves the user experience while they sign up and sign in. So here I keep one reference for Firebase authentication. So if we visit this reference site, then here you can see some they keep some benefits of Firebase authentication. So one is easy signing with any platform. So using Firebase authentication, actually Firebase provides us some authentication provider, like native provider and some additional provider. Additional native provider means direct login using username, email, and password, and also phone number authentication. And additional provider is Google, Facebook, or Twitter login or sign up. So Firebase provides us this authentication. And second benefit of using Firebase authentication is flexible UI. So Firebase UI can help us customize the UI of the user signing and sign up. And Firebase comprehensive security. So Firebase authentication is super secure as it has developed by the Google signing team. So it really secure enough. And another thing is fast implementation. because we don't need to write no more than 20 lines of code to implement the Firebase authentication. So it's really, uh, I mean, it's really need less time to implement the Firebase authentication. So these are the main benefits of using Firebase authentication. Okay, so here they give two link. One is visiting console, one for video. So I'm going to console. So from the authentication section, we can see there are four options: user sign-in method, templates, and usage. So from the users page, we can see the user list of my this current project. I created one project that is for my one practice project. So these are my user list that already registered on my project. Okay, and for user authentication identifier will be the user email, and while they do the sign up on that time, one UID will be created. Okay, so that will be the unique ID for the user. And here you can see created time and also signing time. And here you can see the providers. So okay, from the signing providers we can know about the providers. Okay, so see, if you click on the add new provider, you can see Firebase provides us two types of provider. One is native providers, one is additional providers. So in native providers will get the email or password authentication option, phone number, and anonymous authentication. And additional providers will get Facebook, Google, Play Games, and other authentication providers. So for my project, I only enabled email and password and Google authentication. If you want to enable one more provider, like you want Facebook provider, so you can easily do it. You just have to enable the Facebook provider, and then you have to provide the app ID and app secret of Facebook. That's it. Then if you click on save, then it will enable the Facebook provider also. Then you can easily use it in your project. And this is the templates part. So on the authentication, during the authentication time, we use some email option, email sending option, like we send the email to user for email address verification, then for the password reset, then for the email address change. Also, Firebase provides us the phone number authentication. So for that, we also use SMS verification. So for this authentication, Firebase uses these templates. So for email address verification, they are using this email address verification template. So if you want to edit this template, then you can edit it, but you can only edit the sender and subject and reply to, but you can't change the message. Same for password reset also, they are using this template. For email address changing, they're using this these templates, and for SMS verification, they are using this template. Okay, so for phone number verification, they are using this template. And for some project, we integrate SMTP. So if you want to integrate SMTP, then you can do the SMTP configuration from here. And fourth one is the usage. So from this option, you can see the usage of this authentication part only on your project. As it is my local project, so I'm not using this project. So there is no data on this project, on this authentication part. So that's about authentication. So now I'm going to next feature, that is Firebase database. So Firebase database is categorized as a NoSQL database program which store data in JSON format. And Firebase offers two different types of database. One is Cloud Firestore and another is real time. So here I keep to one reference. Okay, so if we visit this reference, then we can know about some benefits of this Firebase database. So first benefit is real-time syncing for JSON data. That means Firebase works not only for online, but even when the users are offline to store the changes and sync it. So whenever the user will come online, it will sync the data. So it will work for offline also. Second benefit is so second benefit is build serverless app. That means so we don't need to use servers to build the apps because Firebase real-time database allows it with mobile and web SDK. And another benefit is optimized for online use that I already mentioned, and strong user base security. So Firebase database integrates well with the Firebase authentication that helps build simple and secure model for the developers. So Firebase database is really secured enough. So these are the benefits of Firebase database. And if we go to the console, then we can see there are two types of database. One is Firestore database, another one is real-time database. So now I'll tell you both database what they offer. So these two database offer us NoSQL database, client first SDK, real-time update, and free trial. Then we have to pay whatever we are using. Depending on this, we have to pay for it. Okay. 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 So now I'll try to differentiate between real-time versus Firestore database. Okay. So I'll differentiate these two database depending on some key factors. Okay, so first key factors is data model. So in real-time database, data is stored is as in one large JSON tree. So if we go to the console, see if we go to the real-time database. Okay, so see here data are stored in a JSON tree. Okay, so here chat is my table name, means that is my parent, and under this parent there is these are the subtree. Okay, so these three are the chat thread ID, and these are the this thread sub ID. I mean subtree. So from this real-time database, you can see that database are stored as one large JSON tree. So the format will be JSON tree. On the other hand, if we in Firestore database, data is stored as a collection of document. Okay. So if we go to the Firestore database, so see here, users messages and message threads. These are three tables, three different collection. And if I click on user, I can see these are the sub collection of users. And if I click on this collection, then I can see those are the group of document of this collection. So each document set as a key value pair. Like email is the key and value is the this email. So in Firebase, a document is a set of key value pair that is defined by the schema, and a group of document makes up the collection. So in Firestore, data are stored as a collection of document. So these are the difference between these two. Okay, then real-time and offline support. So in real-time database, offline support for only Android and iOS. On the other hand, in Firestore, it will it will support for Android, iOS, and web. for 3, but in real time it will provide for only 2. Then the key factor is presence. Presence means it means we can know when a client is online or offline. So real-time supports presence. On the other hand, Firestore doesn't support this presence. Then key factor is querying. Querying means we can retrieving, storing, filtering data from either the real-time or Firestore through the queries. So in real time, it allows us to perform deep queries with limited sorting and filtering functionality. On the other hand, in a Firestore, it will allow us to perform indexed queries with compound sorting and filtering. Then write and transaction. So real time only allows us basic write and transaction operation, but Firestore will allows us performing advanced write and transaction operation. So there are some other key factors also, that is reliability and performance. So it is single regional solution real time. On the other hand, Firestore is multi-regional solution. Then scalability. So Firebase scaling requires sharding. So what is sharding? Sharding is a methodology for describing data across multiple machines. So it requires sharding. On the other hand, Firestore is automatic. Firestore scaling is automatic. Then security. So real-time is a cascading rules language that separate authorization and validation. So now you can ask me what is cascading. So cascading means the child data is either deleted or updated when the parent data is deleted or updated. That means when child data is deleted or updated on the time, it will affect parent data also. So that cascading rules following real-time database. On the other hand, Firestore database following no cascading rules that combine authorization and validation. And final thing is pricing. So charges only in real-time database charges only for bandwidth and storage, but at a higher rate. On the other hand, it mainly mainly the operation performed in the database that are a low rate, low bandwidth, and low storage. So those are the main benefits. Main difference between the Firebase and real time. So actually, in simple terms, if you are small scale, then you can go with real time. But if you want to grow a big project, then you can go with Cloud Firestore. So about the database, why I'm telling more, because I just want to give you the clarification that which database is suitable depending on the project. On that, so that you can easily choose the database while you start the project. So I'll recommend that you can go with the Cloud Firestore. Because the reason is the Firestore database is pretty simple, because it's a new database and it is recommended by the Firebase team itself. So one more thing also, Firestore database gives us the additional functionality, better performance, more security roles, and more scalable. So that's why Firestore is quite good enough than real time. Okay, and okay, and here is provided one doc link, doc reference. So if you visit this doc, okay, so if you visit this doc, you can know more thing about the database things, even how does it work and the implementation path. Also, they also give some recommendation for choosing the database. Okay, so that you can also know from here. Okay, And this Firebase documentation is quite good enough because they keep everything in their documentation. Even they categorize the iOS, Android, and web part also. For before starting, you can visit this their documentation. So here you can find everything along with the code and along with the steps, whatever steps you have to follow to for using one feature. Okay, so that's all about the Firebase database. Okay, now I'm going to Firebase Cloud Storage. This is the another feature of Firebase. So Firebase Cloud Storage allows the mobile app users or web app users to store their photos and videos on the cloud. And while they made the cloud storage on the time, they're keeping in mind that when the app will become or product your product will become highly popular, it is easy for the end user to utilize it more efficiently, effectively, or accurately. And also I keep one reference. Okay, so if we visit this reference, so we can know some benefits of this Firebase storage. So Firebase storage is mainly for store your user photos and videos. And one more thing, automated Firebase have the one feature that is automated pause and resume functionalities for uploading and downloading the files even offline and online. And this save user time, also improve the bandwidth also. Okay, and Firebase follow the strong user-based security like the other Firebase features. Firebase Cloud Storage also integrate with Firebase authentication to offer a secured environment for the end users. Okay, so if I go to the console, then I'll get the storage option. So see, this is the storage of my project, and this is one folder of my project. Okay, user profile. So if you want to create one more folder, so from here you can create the folder. Just you have to give the name and add folder. Okay, so if you click on the folder, inside this folder you will get the file, and if you click on file, you will get the other metadata of this particular file. Okay, and here is one option that is roles. So you can set the roles. Means you can define the roles, who has access it, and how it is structured, so that you can set from here. Then usage. So from here you can see the storage usage part. You can see the statistics. Okay, so that is about the storage thing. And then hosting. Another feature of Firebase is that is hosting. So Firebase hosting provides fast and secure hosting for the application, and content is cached into the content delivery network, means CDN. So if I go to the reference on each feature, I keep one reference. So if you visit this reference, you will get the documentation option, also the benefits and other things. So if you want repeat this reference, so this hosting also have some benefits. One benefit is deliver web content fastly. So it's firstly deliver the web content, and it's SSD backed hosting, and it also provide free SSL for custom domain. And the best feature of this hosting is deploy it one command. So that means with a single command you can quickly deploy your project and serve both static and dynamic content to CDN. So that is the best feature of this hosting, I think. So if I go to the console, so see this is the hosting option. And one more thing I want to mention, that is on each feature you will get the tutorials also. So from this tutorial you can learn how to start how does hosting work or each feature works, and what can it do for me. So that is the thing. So for my project, I didn't deploy the project. So if I want to use it, then I have to follow some step. Like first, I have to make sure that I already installed Firebase CLI in my project. So for installing Firebase CLI, I have to use this command on my project directory. Then the second step is I have to make sure that I have signed in. I have signed into Google, and I have initiate the Firebase in my project or directory. So, and the third thing is deploy. So before doing the deployment, okay, for doing the deployment from the project root directory, if I run this command, then automatically deployment will start. But before doing the deployment, I have to put all of my files into my project deploy directory. So that deploy default directory will be the public directory, okay. And if from my project root directory, if I run this command, then automatically deployment will start. So Firebase deployment is easy, and it also take less time. So after doing the deployment, after doing the setup, then from here we can see the release history of the deployment. Okay, so I didn't deploy my project, so that's why this section is empty. So after, if I do the deployment, then I'll find some option like the deployment status, time, and the files also. And one more benefit is of Firebase hosting is preview channel. Before before going to live, here I'll find one preview channel option. So from there I can test my project. So before publishing my project, so that is one benefit. So, and one more thing is Firebase hosting support multiple site. So that is one more thing. Okay, then next feature is Firebase functions. So Firebase function is a serverless framework actually that lets us automatically run backend code in response to events triggered by the Firebase feature and HTTP request. So for example, if I want to create one function that will triggered by the Firebase product, such as I want to changes the data in the database, or I want to implement one new sign up option using the Firebase authentication, then I can write the function. So after writing the function, my JavaScript or TypeScript, whatever code I have wrote, that will store in the Google Cloud, and it will run in a managed environment. So there is no need to manage and scale the server. There is no need to manage and scale my own server. So that is one benefit. So see, this cloud function benefit. One benefit is develop backend without server, and one more thing is with managing server, we can run backend code, low maintenance, and we can keep our logic privately and securely. So these are the feature about the Firebase functions. So, but one thing is that is Firebase function is paid. If we want to use this Firebase function feature, then we have to pay for it. So this is paid. So that is one thing that it. Okay, and if you visit the Firebase documentation, then you will find everything. How does it works and what can it do? Okay, so for example, using Firebase, you want to notify user when something interesting is happens. So how it will work? So for example, new followers stored in the database. So what database will do after getting the new user in the database? This function, whatever function I have written, that function will process the message of FCM. So FCM is another Firebase feature, and then it will send the notification to the targeted user device. So for that purpose, we can use Firebase functions, and how to start this Firebase function that we can know from their documentation. Okay. Actually, I'm not describing these things more because due to the time limit. Okay, the next feature is Firebase Cloud Messaging. Okay, so Firebase Cloud Messaging means FCM is a cross-platform messaging solution that actually let us know the reliability to send message at no cost. So using FCM, we can notify the app user that new email or other data is available to see. So we can send notification using this Firebase Cloud messaging to drive more user engagement and more retention. So if we go to this reference, so we can know about some benefits of this Firebase messaging option. So we can send message to any device, a single or multiple device. Even we can send the message to group device also. One more thing is we can customize the Firebase notification content like logo color, notification bar that we can customize from our site. And another benefit is we don't need to write the code for sending the notification. So that Firebase will do. So these are the feature of this cloud messaging. So from here I have covered these things, but I'm skipping machine learning because it is advanced topic and I also have less knowledge in this machine learning. Okay, so here you will find the cloud messaging. So from here, you can set the cloud messaging option. So if you want to send a notification, you have to first configure the notification. Okay, so for setting this notification part, you have to set up the title text and one logo, that means image and optional thing. Also, you have to set the targeted device and timing. Okay, so by this way, you can use this cloud messaging. Also, from the documentation also you will find the more information about this cloud messaging and how this cloud messaging will work for different device. Okay, then advantage and disadvantage. Okay, before going to advantage and disadvantage, actually I have missed some features like one is A/B testing. So what is A/B testing? So this feature is by using this feature, you can test your app virtually or on physical device that will located on Google Data Center. So for this A/B testing, you can test the app. You can test the app using, I mean, either virtually or on physical device. But for using this, you have to enable Google Analytics. Okay, so you have to enable Google Analytics for using this. I also didn't use this, but I just I mean gather some knowledge on this feature. Then in-app messaging. So in-app messaging, what can we do using in-app messaging? So in-app messaging helps us to engage our app's active user by sending them a targeted message. Okay, for example, I want to send a message to the users to subscribe into my app or watch a video or buy an item. So for that purpose, I can use this feature in-app messaging. So for that, we have to we have to the um, configure the configure the in-app messaging part also. So we have to follow some steps. Okay, then the another feature is remote config. So what is remote config? Actually, remote config is a software development technique for mobile apps, mainly for mobile apps, where the behavior or feature of the app can be changed remotely without publishing the updated version of the app. That means using this remote config, we can see the updated version of the app remotely, okay, without publishing our app. So for that also we have to configure it. Then dynamic links. So what is dynamic links? So Firebase dynamic links are links that actually work for multiple platform, and either I mean iOS or Android, whether the app is installed or not. So uh, what it will do, actually it will if any user opens a dynamic link on any device like Android or iOS, then it can be taken directly to the linked content of the net of your native app. So same for the desktop browsers also. If a user open that dynamic link, same dynamic link in a desktop browser, then they can taken to the equivalent content of on your website. So for that purpose, this dynamic link is used. Then and the next feature is add mob. So this is another feature. This is mainly for mobile. It is a mobile advertising platform which can use to generate revenue from the app. Okay, so we can use this feature on the mobile app only for showing the ads from the Google advertiser. So we can use it for the showing the advertising on our app. So for this also we have to enable the Google Analytics. Okay, so this is the feature. I think yeah, this is the feature. Nothing remaining. Okay, now I'm going to advantage and disadvantage. Okay, so the advantage of Firebase is we can create application without backend server. No need to pay extra money for backend server, and real-time database that really helps to store and synchronize data and quick display data in the application faster than any other backend web services, as it is NoSQL database, so it's more faster, and rapid synchronization of data also make it faster. And also it can provide any networking social networking login with very few lines of code, okay, that we earlier saw. And cloud messaging option, we can use cloud storage. Also there is testing services. So using Firebase testing services, we can improve we can test Firebase our app quality. And we can use dynamic links, use of Firebase dynamic links. Also we can integrate Google Analytics into the Firebase, so it has become faster, I mean smarter with Google Analytics. And web hosting is fast and secured. And one more thing is auto backup. So these are the main advantage of Firebase. Okay, now disadvantage. Like the other technology, Firebase has some disadvantage also. So one major disadvantage is we can't deal easily with data migration. Like we can do it a simple SQL database, but in NoSQL database we can do the data migration. Like whatever we want, that we can do. And second disadvantage is less support for iOS apps. Because Firebase mainly based on Android, so that's why it's supporting iOS less. Okay, so that's it. Thank you everyone to show the patience and joining this session.